I saw Look Away with India Isley and Jason Isaacs, and I'll give you my non-spoiler review right after this. Hi folks, welcome into Pop Pop Fizzle. I'm Jeff, and I am here to do my non-spoiler review for the movie Look Away. Now, if you're unfamiliar with this film, Heidi and I did a trailer reaction for it not long ago. I have tried since then to see this film in a theater. I've gone through a lot of the apps trying to set alerts and find where this film was showing, and I guess that maybe it just got a limited release because I really had trouble tracking it down. But I was determined to see it. The trailer looked good. I was curious about it. So I rented it last night and watched it with our oldest daughter, who you have not seen on this channel. But I sat with her and watched it after the little kids had gone to bed. Heidi was at work. And it was an uncomfortable viewing experience, I have to say. Not a movie to watch with your kid, no matter how old they are. But I did want to give you at least my non-spoiler thoughts about the film. If you watched our trailer reaction to the film, you'll know that I was intrigued by it, as was Heidi somewhat. And I will say that the film started off sort of on a positive note. I liked some of the visuals. I liked some of the vibe that it was giving me. I quickly soured on it, though, as the film progressed, not because of any issues with the production or the acting or anything like that. All that was fairly solid. You know, it was a nice looking film. Certainly good to see Mira Sorvino in a role again. I'm sure she's continued working. I just haven't seen her in anything in a while. Jason Isaacs, I think, is always good. He's a solid actor. Was not familiar with India Isley, who is the lead in this film, but she did a great job as well. So acting, certainly not the problem. Visually, set design, all those things, great with this. It was really the story that I had more issue with. For a few reasons. One, that I felt like they gave away too much very early in the film, like as the opening credits are going. And I felt like that was a mistake. I think it would have been better to keep us guessing. But then as we got toward the end of the film, I felt like I didn't fully understand where I was supposed to land on what was happening. And I won't say more than that because I don't want to spoil anything. But there was a scene late in the film, and it featured some strong nudity, some full frontal nudity. And because I'm a dad and was watching it with my daughter, I fast forwarded through that because I didn't really want to sit there and watch that with her, and I wasn't sure where it was going. It seemed like it was heading into a creepy sort of area. But I skipped past that enough to get to an important moment that happens in that scene. But when the movie ended, I felt like I didn't really understand what had happened. So I went digging around online and found out what actually happened in that scene that I had skipped past. And some of the dialogue did help me understand where they were trying to land. But it felt cheap. I felt like I understood that going in, and then they just kind of muddied the water and then tried to underscore it at the end. And I really felt like that sort of vagary mixed with some random nudity at different points of the film, which didn't feel necessary to advance the plot. I think there were ways to sell what they were trying to sell without it. That left me feeling pretty cold about the whole thing. It just seemed like they were trying to, turn up the sexy dial for no apparent reason. It didn't really need to be there, didn't really need to be a part of the plot. And because the character that was most often nude was someone who, in the film at least, is supposed to be underage, it was uncomfortable and kind of pointless. And so I just, as I said, I am not a prude, but when nudity is pointless and doesn't seem to serve the story in any discernible fashion, I just kind of am like, why? Why is this here? Why did this poor girl have to go through this for this? Like, it didn't help your movie any. So, I don't think it was a bad movie. I just don't think it was a good movie. And I think it made some choices that I would not have made. I wasn't sitting in the director chair. I wouldn't be. That's not what I do. And I'm not a critic. So, maybe somebody saw something in this that I didn't. I just felt like it was not at all as deep and compelling as they meant for it to be. I don't think it was trying to be too deep, but I think that, you know, it was trying for a certain vibe, and it felt like, you know, maybe they thought the nudity was going to sell that vibe some, but it really didn't. And it just, some of it just seemed kind of pointless. I will say that all the acting was top notch. I didn't have any problem with any of that, whether it was the lead girl, India Isley, or Jason Isaacs as her father, or Mary Sorvino as her mother. Most of the other teenage kids in the film, or adults pretending to be teenagers, whatever they were, you know, they were okay. They were serviceable, but not, you know, not anything to write home about. But I thought all the leads were pretty solid. I struggle to think of a reason to recommend this to you. Now, the way that we normally do this is because our name is Pop Pop Fizzle. Either something is a fizzle, which means don't bother seeing it at all. It's a pop, meaning sure, stream it if you get a chance, but don't pay big ticket prices to see it. Or it's a double pop, meaning rush out and see it at the theater now. Now, it, for me, quality-wise and story-wise, it wouldn't be a double pop anyway. But also on that level, I don't think you're going to find this playing in the theater anywhere. I think maybe it had a short run, and now it's just available to stream or you know, pay watch on demand, video on demand. And I wouldn't necessarily say it's a fizzle. It wasn't a bad film. It wasn't a film that I would tell you to avoid. It just missed some opportunities to be great. And so for me, it's going to be a pop. If it's the kind of movie that you think you'd like, then certainly stream it. I think we paid $6.99 to rent it, and it'll probably be, you know, streaming somewhere for free before long. So if that's kind of your kind of thing, then maybe you can catch it streaming. But I don't think it's a great movie, and I think it had some potential. And I said when we watched the trailer that it kind of bummed me to see the trailer because it seemed very similar to a short story idea that I had kind of had and made some notes for. After having seen the film, I think my idea is different enough, certainly, and it wasn't tied into mirrors and mirror images and all that stuff. But I still, I don't know. I guess I expected something better than what I got, and it just kind of fell flat for me. It felt like they missed some opportunities, and it also felt like they just tacked on some nudity and some creepiness that didn't necessarily need to be there to tell the story that they were trying to tell. Yeah, that's just my opinion. Again, not a critic, just sharing my thoughts with you. That's what I do. Normally I have Heidi sitting with me. She's at work tonight, so unfortunately you only get me, and I always apologize for that because that's no fun. But anyway, that's my thoughts on this particular film, Look Away. If you like this video, be sure and hit the thumbs up. Consider subscribing to the channel. We love it when you do that. Also, I want to let you know before I go, and we've let you know in a few other videos, but I actually have a book coming out November the 19th called Shadow Plays. It's a collection of 15 short stories delving into the darkness and light found in humanity. And there's a lot of fun writing these stories. I've written them over the course of several years. It's my pleasure, my honor to actually be able to release them into the wild and let them go. For a limited amount of time, I am doing pre-orders through my website. I'll put that link here in front of you. 20% off if you use the code SHADOW. Pre-order now through the 19th. On the 19th, I'll start shipping out the orders for pre-orders. If you wanted me to sign it, I'll have done that. And those will start going out to you. If you wait until after the 19th, they'll still be available through my web store without that discount. They'll also be available on Amazon and for Kindle devices. So you'll find those on November the 19th. Anyway, I hope that you've enjoyed this video. If books aren't your thing, that's fine. I just wanted to share that with you because you're part of our family, and when you got news like that, you share it. Anyway, that's it for this video. I hope you'll be back and join us. We've got some new videos up for The Haunting of Hill House, for Daredevil Season 3, and I just finished my review for Suspiria, so all those should be up by the time you see this. I hope you'll check those out. Until next time, folks. Bye.